Welcome to another edition of Stalwart Academy, another lesson here in the Academy. I have with me today Ben Smith with RSA, and I am Bill Hawks with Stalwart. Ben, we'd love to talk with you a little bit about the security landscape and tell us where most companies are today and what you're seeing as the threats out there.
Sure. Thanks for having us today, Bill. I know we really appreciate it. We're seeing a lot of companies today that are focused, maybe a little too focused on the C word, the compliance word, more than anything else. You might be in an industry that is bound by certain regulations. If you're handling credit card information, that might be PCI focused. If you're in the healthcare industry, that might be HIPAA focused. A lot of these industry verticals have started to come out with very specific recommendations, if not requirements, inside your environment as to how you should operate your IT infrastructure. So a lot of folks that we've talked to in the past are very focused on just checking that compliance checkbox to say, okay, I'm compliant, I should be good to go from this point on. But in fact, most companies are not. So we're having a lot of conversations today, whether you're inside one of those industries or not, where folks are starting to understand that just because you're compliant doesn't necessarily mean that you're truly secure.
Right, it's very good. So we see that people are moving from really a tactical preventative approach to a strategic and business-oriented approach. What is the real difference between compliance and security in your mind?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and it's going to be different, I think, for every potential prospect and customer. The two-sentence answer that I like to offer up is being compliant is something that's absolutely important and required, and maybe most importantly, it's going to keep you out of jail. Versus being secure is something that's going to keep you out of the news. So again, it kind of goes back to that whole checkbox capability where, yes, I've signed up to this minimum required capability that my industry requires me to follow. I'm consuming logs, I'm keeping them for this amount of time, I'm paying attention to this part of my network infrastructure, but that's not the same thing as being secure. So the great news, at least from RSA's perspective, is we're starting to have more and more conversations with prospects and customers that have figured that out. Being compliant is not the same thing as being secure. And the good news is we've got a product and solution set that can help those prospects and customers a number of ways.